Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to be talking about Elizabeth Warren, 2020 presidential contender, right, for the Democrat Party. So I'm going to talk about her strengths and her weaknesses. So who is Elizabeth Warren? Elizabeth Warren is a Massachusetts senator, and she has been serving there for quite a long time. She is a very long time politician, and she's absolutely, we'll get to that in a minute. Actually, you know what? She is a Washington insider who figured out quickly that that is not a good thing to be and made herself a spike. She is definitely spiked through the box, right? As far as, determining what she needs to do to win the camera and control the camera. So she's a Washington insider who quickly turned herself into a spike. It's one of my favorite things about her as a candidate, okay? All right, and so, basically, unlike the rest of the Washington insiders, she has a knowledge that her service to her country, for most voters, is a detriment, not a benefit, right? And it's incredibly rare among the Democrats that they actually understand this, right? All right, so what does she stand for, right? What's her actually policies? Well, one of her biggest policies is a wealth tax. She wants to put severe taxes on the wealthiest 75,000 families in America, right? And essentially create this really strong tax band that will actually get money out of the wealthy, right? She's going to use that money to fund a whole bunch of services. One of them is universal child care, Medicare for all, and actually she said this will only partially fund these things, right? But universal health care, and then also Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, and then also she wants to give student debt relief, okay? Now, most of that is straight out of the, everything she has there is straight out of the Democrat playbook, except two things. Green New Deal, man. It is a bold move for any Democrat to sign on to the Green New Deal, because the Green New Deal is so massively sweeping that it really makes everything. The Green New Deal takes health care, takes free college, takes a job guarantee, and rolls it into the Green New Deal, right? So if you're for the Green New Deal, you're really saying, I will do a lot more than is already on the Democrat playbook. And Elizabeth Warren's like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in for the Green New Deal. That is huge, right? Because the Green New Deal isn't normal. It's a 10-year national mobilization to sweep through and completely update all buildings, all vehicles. It's a huge change. It'll get rid of entire industries. It's massive. She's signed on and she's for it, right? And that's incredibly bold. The other thing is her universal health care is genius. It is a 7% cost to universal health care for everybody, and you would pay 7% of your salary, right? So, which I think that's really good. So it would go to a government program, but you would pay, and government program could be them just hiring existing contractors, existing daycare providers, right? But it will only cost you a max of 7% of your salary, which is major, because I think a lot of people are paying 20 or 40 or even 50% of their salary just for good daycare, right? And that's huge. So that's a big move, right? So those are the things she stands for. The other thing that she's brought out forward recently is she says she will break up the tech giants, right? Now, to me, I read the tech giants as, I think she's definitely mentioned Amazon, but generally the tech giants are FANG, right? So it's I think any of the FANG group could be considered, under her leadership, to be broken up. And FANG is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, right? And that, again, that's huge, right? That's the heart of America. You're talking billion-dollar corporation. She's like, I'm going to take them and just shake them out, right? I'll break them apart like a Kit Kat, right? And that's bold. Like, she is very, very bold, okay? Now, she is absolutely a dyed-in-the-wool Washington insider, and she recognized right quick that, time as a politician and looking like a politician and acting like a politician, these are the days of Trump, right? And all that is over, right? Like, basically, people didn't like politicians before, but now we're living in an era where a dude who had zero political savvy, zero political experience, beat Hillary Clinton in who was like a 20, 30 year politician, right? So he beat her politically, not with the popular vote, but beat her with the electoral college, right? That's a political move, political maneuver. So coming out with zero political skill, right, defeats a longtime political rival politically to win the office, then immediately, drops in two Supreme Court justices, changing law in America for probably 20 or 30 years, right? Then immediately fixes unemployment and makes employment one of the highest in the history of the country. Makes the stock market go through the roof, right? And then in addition to that, takes all of the government programs that he doesn't like and eviscerates them by putting in his own people and just dismantling them right in front of the entire public, right? Like, that is straight baller moves, right? So Trump was like, you know what? You don't really need to have political know-how or political savvy or any of that political maneuver stuff. You just need to be intelligent. You need to be intelligent. You need to know how to communicate, right? And then at that point, you can get everything you need from political wonks, from experts that you just attach to yourself, right? Political expertise is a service you can quickly hire, literally hire as soon as you're president, right? It doesn't have to be all within you, right? So Elizabeth. So the thing I love about, I think Elizabeth Warren is a very dangerous candidate. Dangerous in like the cool, fun way, like a rapper. Not dangerous like an agitated bear, right? She is like, I think she's a very dangerous candidate. I think she has a strong probability of winning the Democrat primary, and I think she has. I don't want to talk about her chances against Trump quite yet, right? I'm not sure. I'm still watching carefully to see, if I think she has the wherewithal to go against Trump. Haven't made up my mind there yet on where she's at. But I think she's a really, really strong candidate among the Democrats, without a doubt. Like, she's just one of the strongest Democrats. And I think, and the biggest reason why is she's really unusual, right? She's not an insider. She's not an outsider. She's a spike. She's a Washington insider who figured out that her political prowess is actually a detriment, and she needs to very carefully hide that from the public and never talk about it, which she's already doing. Like, she's cutting videos of drinking beers in her kitchen, the whole nine, right? And honestly, a lot of people, like, sometimes when politicians try stuff and it goes really wrong, a lot of people will count them out. I love the attempt. I think it's really cool. You do need to be careful. You can't have that Howard Dean scream, right? You can't really overshoot the mark, because you can end your election hopes in a minute. I'm not positive that the Howard Dean scream actually ended his election. He was moving along, right? And I think he just got beat conventionally. There are people who really think that he, that scream really, but she's doing the best she can. And I think, and it seems like a really genuine attempt. I think she also, one of the things that's very interesting about her is she is transforming herself. She is a spike, right? She's already shed her politician skin and is something different, right? And I think that comes from the breaking up that, you could tell, because she's saying things that are simple, shocking, entertaining, exciting, and new, right? She's figured out that she knows that the primaries are a different beast than the general, right? And I think overall, she's doing what she can to keep it moving, right? So I think I actually really like Elizabeth Warren among the Democrat candidates. I think she is very dangerous. One more thing that is definitely in her benefit is she is an intersectionality candidate, right? So there are a lot of low intersectionality candidates right now. Beto O'Rourke, Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg. Oh, sorry about that. Pete Buttigieg, right? And then also, there's even a couple more of them in there. But, you know, low intersectionality is a huge problem among the Democrats. They have really staked, you know, their almost the future of the entire party on the idea that they truly believe in supporting intersectionality, and that intersectionality is important, and to the point, and they've gone so far in saying that they support intersectionality that it's really going to be odd if they choose a low intersectionality candidate, right? And it's certain. I think they'll be able to survive it if that's what they choose. But there's going to be a lot of questions to be answered if that happens, and there's going to be a lot of Democrats who are very upset because, you know, they spent a long time talking about intersectionality, and that's one of the things is we've been talking about a lot of low intersectionality candidates, and here we see Elizabeth Warren is actually an intersectionality candidate. Note, I said not high. She's not high intersectionality, but she's at least an intersectionality candidate, right? And I think that really is a badge you kind of need to put on. Actually, it's a badge you need to have, right, in order to really do well in the Democrat races. We don't know that for sure yet. I think that's really the case. We're going to find out, right? You know, so, but Elizabeth Warren is a very, very dangerous candidate. I think she's definitely going to start to rise to the top. I also think, you know, a lot more than other candidates, I think she's really, really thinking, what can I do to win the primary? And I think she gets the primary is a really different beast than the election. And I think just acknowledging that is really going to give her a step forward. So Elizabeth Warren, definitely one of the most dangerous candidates out of the 15 that are currently running. Very, very interesting candidate. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful day.